There are places on Earth that appear on maps but remain completely beyond your reach. Some are protected by soldiers, surveillance systems, and restricted airspace. Others are sealed because entering could expose classified technology, disturb an isolated civilization, or put your life in immediate danger. You may know their names, you may have seen satellite images, but without the right clearance or government authorization, you will never see what is inside. These are 10 locations governments do not want ordinary visitors entering. This is Miles Halden Archives, and our countdown begins not with weapons or warfare, but with something far more vital to human survival, locked deep inside an Arctic mountain. In the 10th place, an Arctic mountain on a remote Norwegian archipelago keeps millions of crop seeds frozen, even if the power grid fails. This secure facility safeguards global agricultural biodiversity against war, disaster, and climate events. While travelers can view the exterior entrance, the underground chambers remain strictly sealed. Security measures exist solely to prevent contamination and maintain the -18 degrees Celsius environment, keeping the vault closed to the public. What would have to happen before humanity depended on what is stored inside this mountain? Number 9. The Vatican Apostolic Archive houses over 85,000 individual items spanning 1,000 years of global history, yet it remains entirely closed to the public. This massive repository contains original historical papers, including Galileo's correspondence with the Pope and Henry VIII's diplomatic letters. To protect these materials, access is filtered through a formal academic application process, excluding ordinary tourists. The archive maintains the paper trail of our history under heavy guard. How many turning points in history survive inside documents most people will never personally see? 8th place, a silent territory in northeastern France, contains over 1 million unexploded chemical weapons and artillery shells buried just beneath the topsoil. This is the Zone Rouge, a restricted expanse of 1,400 square kilometers devastated during the First World War. For over a century, the French government has banned public entry, agricultural use, and settlement here. The danger comes from highly concentrated arsenic, lead, and active munitions that will take up to 700 years to clear. This absolute restriction exists to protect lives from physical hazards rather than to guard state secrets. How can a battlefield remain dangerous long after everyone who fought there is gone? Number 7. An isolated community has inhabited a single Indian Ocean island for up to 60,000 years without ever joining the modern world. This is North Sentinel Island, where the Indian government enforces a strict 5 nautical mile exclusion zone patrolled by the Navy. This restriction is rooted in ethical preservation and public health. Because the Sentinelese have lived in complete isolation, they lack immunity to common global pathogens. Even minor contact could prove lethal. The exclusion zone legally honors their sovereignty and protects them from modern diseases and exploitation. The island is not a mystery to solve or a forbidden destination to conquer. Does the modern world have the right to contact a community that has repeatedly chosen isolation? Number 6. A restricted zone in the South Australian outback covers over 122,000 square kilometers, an area larger than the state of Pennsylvania. This is the Woomera Prohibited area, established in 1947 as a joint British-Australian military testing range during the Cold War. For decades, it hosted secret missile tests, rocket launches, and military development, leaving behind a legacy of unexploded ordnance and displaced indigenous communities. Today, the Australian Department of Defence strictly controls access through a permit system, frequently closing public roads and airspace for military hazards. Civilians are barred from entering without military clearance. How much experimental technology has been tested in deserts almost no civilian ever sees. Number 5. A sprawling field in North Yorkshire intercepts up to 2 billion data points every day, from civilian telephone calls to high-frequency military communications. This is RAF Menwith Hill, a heavily guarded Royal Air Force station operated under a tight United Kingdom and United States partnership. The site is legally protected under the United Kingdom's military registries and the Official Secrets Act, keeping the interior strictly closed to the public. Behind secure fences, the facility provides missile warning support and serves as a primary hub for the Echelon Signals Intelligence Network. While the giant white domes are visible for miles, the operations remain classified. How much information can pass through a facility hidden behind fences and giant radar domes? Fourth place, a remote facility in the Australian outback intercepts up to 3 million communications every single day. This is Pine Gap, a highly secure satellite tracking station operated jointly by the United States National Security Agency and the Australian Signals Directorate. Located near Alice Springs, the base is strictly off-limits to civilians, protected by tight military security and international defense treaties. Its primary role involves tracking orbital satellites, detecting missile launches, and collecting signals intelligence across the globe, sparking intense domestic debates over foreign surveillance and national sovereignty on Australian soil. How powerful can a remote desert installation become when it connects satellites, intelligence agencies, and military operations across the world? Coming to the top 3. A hidden underground bunker in Virginia can support 1,000 officials for up to 30 days, completely isolated from the outside world. This is Mount Weather, a highly secure federal emergency facility nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Originally designed during the height of the Cold War to ensure the continuity of the United States government during a nuclear attack, this 500-acre complex serves as a fortified backup capital. While its surface features a runway, water treatment plant, and secure communications infrastructure, the subterranean operations remain highly classified. Access is strictly forbidden to the public, protected by armed guards and federal law, because the facility holds the administrative blueprints and personnel required to reboot the nation after a catastrophic event of unprecedented scale. Where does a government go when its capital can no longer function? In second place, a secret 1966 defense treaty resulted in the forced expulsion of an entire population to clear the way for a highly restricted military stronghold. This is Diego Garcia, a remote Indian Ocean atoll leased by the United Kingdom to the United States. Between 1967 and 1973, approximately 2,000 native Chagassians were systematically removed and relocated to Mauritius and the Seychelles to establish a critical logistics and long-range bomber hub. Today, civilians are strictly banned from the island, which is patrolled by military forces and protected by tight security protocols. While the International Court of Justice ruled in 2019 that the United Kingdom's continued administration of the territory is illegal under international law, the base remains operational and completely closed to the public. How can a remote island remain nearly invisible to the public while influencing conflicts thousands of miles away? And finally, in first place, more than half of all UFO reports during the late 1950s and the 1960s were actually caused by high-altitude test flights of the U-2 and Oxcart reconnaissance aircraft. This is Area 51, a highly classified Air Force facility situated at Groom Lake in the Nevada desert. The site is protected by a 10 nautical mile restricted airspace enforced by the FAA and military patrols, ensuring that advanced aerospace research remains completely hidden. Declassified CIA documents from 2013 confirm its role as a premier testing ground for stealth designs, drones, and even reverse-engineered Soviet fighter jets. This documented history of aerospace engineering stands in contrast to decades of popular alien folklore. Was the greatest secret of Area 51 ever extraterrestrial? Or did alien mythology become the perfect cover for revolutionary human technology? Which of these 10 restricted locations should become the focus of a full Miles Halden investigation? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to the Miles Halden archives. Across these 10 locations, one truth emerges. Maps show where we can go, but restricted borders define who holds power. Absolute control relies on absolute exclusion. Which restricted location should become a full Miles Halden investigation? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to the Miles Halden Archives.